Welcome to Poultry Paradise and our little mini barnyard that we like to call the hen den. We're going to give you a little walkthrough of what our chicken coop is made of and what it's all about. So it's basically a simple 4x8 design. It's about 6-ish feet tall, but you can see it's also off the ground. So that's why it looks pretty big. This is our door for when we need to get in there. The roost bars are 1x2s, which give the chickens a flat surface to rest their breastbone on, because when they sleep, that's what supports them. And you'll see in the bottom area, we have the deep litter method. So what we do is we just add pine shavings periodically as we need to, and then we'll clean it about once a year. You can see it's looking pretty rough right now. So this will get cleaned out this winter. Now our nesting boxes. We have 3 across on the other side. The 3 nesting boxes, as I said, we come in from the back. And we have a few eggs already today. Pretty bluish green. Nice little pink. And we have 2 on this side. And all of these, we can get to the boxes from the back. We originally had those 3 over there, and they're really easy to get to. We chose the open back method. We don't want to come in above them because they say that chickens are wired to react to motion above them, sort of like an instinct for their protection. For security of this coop, you can see up above those nesting boxes, one of the windows, which is covered by plywood right now. But every window opening is covered with hardware cloth. Over it, and we have hardware cloth under the coop. And that hardware cloth is actually buried into the ground. We have the 4 windows, and in the summer, of course, we'll pull that plywood off. And in the summer, we also have solar-powered fans that will push the air across the top of the coop for them. Now, there's the fun part, too. We have the cameras. Those are for our live chicken cam. And we'll get into those in an upcoming video. So, how we get in the coop. At first, we had a battery-powered door to the actual coop where the chickens go in and out, but it was not reliable. So we've chosen to have a door in the coop that doesn't actually close. It's sort of like a free-for-all little walkway. That way they can come and go throughout the day. Their run is secure, and we don't have to worry about a door shutting on them and them not getting in for the night. Let's talk about the run. This run is an 18x6x6 enclosure, and it is fully enclosed by hardware cloth. And that hardware cloth is skirted into the ground to protect against predators. That way they can't dig in. And unfortunately, one of those predators is my big dog. He's old, but if he had his chance, he would eat the chicks. We have a dog video planned because we do have the one dog that would eat the babies, but we also have the best chicken guard dog in the world. There is also accessible space under the coop. You can see there where they can get under there. That was really handy in the hot summer. It provided them some needed shade, especially when it got so hot. Now in this run, we've provided basically more roosting bars. You can see that this one here is a 2x4, but we also have a limb over there we've used, and they love it. They stay on that a lot. They have a swing. We used to have 2, but they don't really use those so much anymore. But I bet those babies will as they get bigger. They have constant access to their food and water supply. We use these gravity fill cups and the no-spill feeding ports. We just use old buckets. You can see one of them is even a cat litter bucket for the food and water. And so for our 16 chickens that we have, not counting the babies, this system lasts about a week. The water will last longer now this time of year when it's not 115 degrees outside here in Texas. And our chickens also have access to the water bowls on our porch that are shaded for our dogs. Now this run is also covered with a tarp. You might can tell it looks shady under here. That was super important and super helpful in the summer to protect from the sun, but also protects them from the rain. They can still get out here and not have to hide there under the coop. It provides a great place also for our Easter eggers because they like to have little parties on top and get on top of the run. So the tarp has been super. Now we have some of the baby chickies. I don't know if you can see them. If you've seen any of our videos, you know we have 3 babies, Sylvia, Janice, and Dolly. With the chicks in the run, we've provided a place for them to eat that the bigger birds can't get to. It's really very simple. You can see more like basically a box turned upside down with the hardware cloth. They even have a little step they can get into. There's their water on top. We do try to keep the bigger birds out of that water, but they think that's a treat for them, I think. It's really very simple, but it has been very helpful. Now, we store our food and the bedding. We have a container here in the actual run. It's basically just a big trash bin. We keep the straw on the ground also in the run for them to scratch in. This also keeps the run from getting too muddy and wet for anything where the tarp doesn't cover. Now, as far as how the chickens get in and out of the run, because we allow them to have just free roam of our backyard. When we had the babies, my big old dog, like I said, he would eat those babies if he could. So we had to come up with a different way. And so we installed this chicken door to help the chickens be able to come and go, but yet my dog can't get to them. And the mama so far has been really good about keeping them away from it. They're not quite big enough to get out like that. Also, it helps with Gus, our chicken guard dog. It keeps him out of the chicken food. You can see where we've had to cut through the hardware cloth to do that, which we didn't really like doing, but it does allow for safer conditions right now. And that green fake grass, the turf, helps too. Now you're probably noticing that we have solar panels. We're going to talk about those in a later video. And keep in mind, we do have shorter days right now, and it's been really cloudy here lately, cloudy and rainy. So we have had to run an extension cord to supplement that. I hope you've enjoyed this little mini tour of our hen den. Our chickens seem to be very happy, which that makes us happy. And I think they're doing very well and thriving out here. Thanks for watching here at Poultry Paradise.